Hello, and welcome back to Supernova. So we're still at the hideout, or safe house, whatever, with Vince, and I assume we're gonna go and do some training once these two stop flexing. You know how it is. Grinning, Vince closes his eyes. Abruptly, his muscles bulge, as if he's straining every muscle in his body at once, even though he's standing perfectly still. There's an odd sort of squelching sound that makes me a bit nauseous as his body starts expanding. His limbs elongate and grow thicker, while his blonde hair retreats to give way to a wild growth of fur. And two enormous fangs descend from his upper lip. Oh. Big. The transformation is very quick. However, quicker than the time it takes me to summon the armor. And now I've seen Super Fang like this before, in pics or videos, but standing next to him is a whole different experience. That isn't painful?
It is, but don't worry. I've grown accustomed to it. Nothing I can't easily handle.
He towers over me, 7 feet in height, if not more, and almost twice as wide as his normal self. Were I seeing this monstrous form as a shadowy silhouette somewhere in the dark, I'd be terrified. But I'm looking at his smiling face right now, and it's not even remotely intimidating. And he just looks too endearing.
Well, what do you think?
You look very cute.
What?
I nod my head, grinning.
No, come on. Look, I'm huge. Look at these fangs.
He taps them with 2 clawed fingers to emphasize his point. But I continue smiling. Nah, sorry, Fang. They look adorable, and I just want to pet your fluffy head. Letting his arms fall by his side, he stares at me with a bemused expression. At that, I can't restrain my laughter. Alright, how about this? If I was a criminal, I'd be trembling from head to toe right now. The tiger narrows his eyes in suspicion, then nods and smiles back at me.
Good.
Alright, let's do this. You ready?
Yep. Gil, is the ghost clear?
It is, Super Fang.
Excellent. Let's go.
The heavy metal door opens again, letting in the chill night air. We ascend into the darkness of the alleyway, all while making surprisingly little sound, considering Vince's current weight or the fact that I'm wearing metal on my feet. Again, our surroundings are illuminated by the soft glow of the armor. I like it, but I must admit it's not great for stealth. Not that Templar seems like he was made for stealth in the first place, but it wouldn't hurt to be able to tone it down. Something to practice, I suppose. Vince points up towards a fire escape hanging off the taller of the 2 buildings.
See that landing up there? Hey, how about you try getting up there? Then don't worry about falling. I'll catch you.
I observe my destination. 2 or 3 stories, around 30 feet from the ground, and doesn't seem so bad. Don't fail me, armor. Are you gonna be taking those stairs?
Nah, I'll jump.
He slaps his powerful thighs. Oh my god. And I imagine those carry him pretty far. Okay, here we go. He flashes me a grin and a thumbs up. The glow around my ankles intensify, and I'm lifted off the ground. Careful. It's just a matter of maintaining my balance, just like I've been doing. It's no different from before. I'll just be flying up 30 feet instead of 3. No biggie. The ascent is slow at first, almost painfully so, but once I realize it's going to be fine, I push it further. I'm still not sure what happens. It's as if the armor is uh, sim- simply listening to my mental commands to accelerate. Landing on the fire escape, I turn around to look down at Vince. He waves at me.
Nicely done. Move to the side a little.
Huh? As I do, he leaps, and in a single bound, he lands right next to where I was standing, rattling the entire staircase. Jeez, Vince, you're too heavy.
Nah, don't worry. I know exactly where I can and can't land. I've done it so much by now. The days when I accidentally crashed into an office building are long over.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you should have seen their faces when a giant tiger smashed through the window. Actually, it was really, really lucky I didn't hurt anyone by accident.
Hey, I'm sure it was just a mistake.
We can't make mistakes that end up hurting people. So, yeah, I've been very careful since then. Got in a bunch of trouble with Specs, too. That was how I got on the Sentinel's radar.
I guess that was one way to get your name out there.
Please don't crash into a building if you can help it.
Oh, I never intended to. Plus, everyone already knows Templar.
Yeah.
A shadow passes over his face, and he stares out towards the street. Before I can say anything else, though, he points up again.
Do you think you can get all the way up?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, sure, let's do it.
I'll be right behind you.
I nod and take a deep breath, and step off the platform into empty air again. And then it's up and up again, toward the sliver of the sky visible far above, growing wider and wider as I rise. Super Fang jumps between the two buildings in massive bounds, grabbing at ledges before each new leap. It's obvious he'd be doing this much faster if he wasn't waiting for me. Not for long, at least. The space opens up all around me, and my feet touch the roof. A second later, the hulking tiger appears next to me, crouching with one hand on the concrete below. I let out a shuddering breath. That went well, huh? It wasn't so bad at all. No, it wasn't bad at all. It was awesome. Super Fang stretches out his full impressive height and claps me on the back.
Soon enough, you'll be zooming around the city.
I glance back at the height I just covered, and I'm overcome by vertigo. Floating straight up is one thing. Flying over the streets would be an entirely different matter. I haven't tried anything like that before.
Worried?
A bit, yeah.
Is it hard? I imagine it was kind of like swimming.
Well, I can't swim either, so...
You can't?
Yeah.
But we live right next to the ocean. You never went swimming.
A bit. I guess it was just sorta walking in shallow water. I don't know. Never wanted to. I shuffle in place as Vince keeps giving me a surprised look. The ocean's terrifying, okay? Who knows what's lurking under there? He laughs.
Whoa, come on, Nick. You aren't afraid of sharks, are you?
Well, kinda.
Duh.
Can we get back to me flying?
Yeah, but I do think you should know how to swim.
Ah, okay. Why?
The ocean. What if you need to fight above the water?
Yeah, that's where the flying bit comes in.
Come on, you know it's not that simple.
I don't have the time to take swimming lessons, Vince.
We can make it part of our training. I've got lifeguard certification. It'll be easy.
You do?
What, the certification? Yeah, I got it in college. I worked a couple summers to earn extra cash.
Jesus Christ, Vince. How much do you do? How do you do so much stuff? Do you leave any time for, I don't know, a social life or simple rest?
Yeah, of course. I have lots of friends.
Do you spend time with them?
Yup.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. Okay.
So...
What?
Swimming lessons.
I sigh, exasperated. Not that I hate the idea, but the thought of going anywhere near deep water is making me mighty uneasy. All right.
Sweet. We can plan a trip to the beach sometime then.
Sounds, good.
All right. Come over here.
He jogs over to the other side of the rooftop and crouches down on one knee, looking out toward the city. I walk over after he, I walk after him with slow steps, letting the view unfold as more and more of the city beneath our feet becomes visible. As far as buildings downtown go, the one we're standing on is average in height. Even then, the multiple skyscrapers dotting the view, the busy urban expanse, stretches on and on ahead of us, thousands of pinpricks of light in the lacework of unimaginable complexity. I can see the break where the hills overtake buildings, over street lamps to illuminate the road up to Saltsford Park? Okay. To our right, meanwhile, the light takes an abrupt plunge into the dark depths of the ocean. My eyes are drawn to the cars in the streets below. They're tiny from this vantage. But they'll look even smaller when I'm flying over the city. I'm tempted to take a step forward into the emptiness and see for myself. In the corner of my vision, I see Vince, who's been watching me in silence, open his mouth to speak. Oh, okay.
I love coming up here, especially at night.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I've sort of seen the city like this before. We had the field trip to the broadcast tower one time, but it sure hits different now.
I know, right? It's just such a special feeling to be perched up here like this.
Must be nice seeing it all the time from those penthouses too. I point to the lit window on the top floor of a nearby high-rise building.
Nah, come on. It's not the same. We're out here. You can fly. I can be over on that rooftop in a blink, looking down on the city from our apartment. Isn't nearly the same. Plus, none of the people living in those do what we do.
The Baron does.
He doesn't live in a penthouse. He's probably has one, though. But that's not the point.
Chuckling, I look out to the city again. As pretty as it is, I can't help but shudder at how sinister the black crescent of the bay looks during the night. You really like doing this, don't you?
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
I mean, I don't know. You make it sound so easy.
Nope. I never said that. Just said it's fun.
Putting yourself in mortal danger is fun? He waves his hand, as if to dismiss my point, but his smile drops.
It doesn't happen often, Nick. Most days we stop petty crime, or assist firemen in rescuing people, or, you know, that kind of stuff.
But it does happen. It happened, well, you know. Vince looks at me in silence for several seconds. When he speaks, his voice is uncharacteristically somber.
Are you afraid?
No. Maybe a little.
I'm gonna be right beside you, Nick.
I fall silent, trying to decide how to put my feelings into words. I know, it's not. That's not the kind of fear I'm talking about. It's hard to explain. What I mean is, I'm not exactly eager to die, but... Vince waits patiently for me to gather my thoughts, not saying anything. What's scary is having to do this as Templar, cause, well, if I had just gotten powers, but was nobody otherwise, it'd be like starting from scratch, right? And then it's okay if I fuck up a little.
You'll do just fine. You have the bracelet for a reason, remember?
Yeah. Vince's words aren't all that reassuring. If all I'm starting to think is, it's a big if, the bracelet chose me, like they say it did, then its decision-making process must have been very arbitrary, because I don't feel like a hero. Not like any of the Sentinels, definitely not like Super Fang.
You don't need to be perfect. Nobody is.
I know that. But you seem to have it all figured out, as far as superheroes go. Anyway, you're doing pretty great, no? He looks away from me with a sigh.
I'll take that as take the win of hearing that. Never meeting your heroes. Didn't hold true in my case.
I willed the helmet to fade away, like I practiced. Oh, I wouldn't say that. I never really had any heroes.
Really? How come?
Dunno. This whole superhero thing never appealed to me, from a fan standpoint. Somehow, a Super Fang seems more surprised by that than anything I've said so far.
You didn't look up to any of the Sentinels.
Maybe a little.
Who?
Damn, he sure seems curious. He's expecting me to say Super Fang, doesn't he? Well... Well, obviously Super Fang was the definition of coolness, before I even knew it was you. And, you know, the eye candy you post all the time doesn't hurt. Vince's loud, exuberant? That's what that says, right? Exuberant? Laugh rings across the rooftop.
Here I was hoping you were a less shallow kind of fandom.
It wasn't the main thing. He grins and winks at me. I'm serious, Vince. I bet a lot of people who have powers do nothing with them. Nothing important, anyway. You are different, and that's damn admirable.
I see. Thanks, Nick.
I put my hand on his massive shoulder and give it a bit of a squeeze.
Either way, I think you're one of the best things that about what we I think that's one of the best things about what we do. Give people someone to look up to, you know.
What? Like a role model?
Nah, not like that. It's more like when it feels like the world is trying to crush you. It helps to know that there are people out there holding up the sky, fighting back the darkness, fighting against those who are trying to make the world a worse place. I think there's great value in that, in heroes.
I stare at him, at a loss for words. What he said would usually elicit a sarcastic response from me, but there's a mix of sincerity, earnestness, and an odd sort of wistfulness in Vince's words that I wouldn't dare say something disparaging. I feel compelled to ask who Vince used to look up to, or perhaps still does. And just praying he doesn't say Templar. That would be unbearably awkward. Do you have someone like that? A hero you look up to? He gives me a rueful smile.
Will you be mad if I said all of them? I know it sounds like a cop-out.
Yeah, it kinda does.
Well, I mean it. Every new superhero I meet, I couldn't help but admire what they're doing. I couldn't single any one of them out.
I see, that's pretty cool. I can't wait to meet them myself.
Then you'll love it. There are so many awesome people around here. Not to mention the regional meetups and stuff. You'll see soon enough. Well, it's gotten a bit more serious than I planned, hasn't it? Let's get this party back on track, shall we?
Oh, you had more planned?
I had been thinking of carrying you to the other safe houses.
Carrying me, huh? I look over the edge, my stomach drops, and I close my eyes for a moment, then look again, forcing myself to remain steady. I could try flying.
Would you like it? Would you like to? I'll be with you every step of the way, ready to snatch you up out of the air at the moment anything goes wrong.
That doesn't sound like something I'd enjoy. But I gotta do this sometime anyway, right? How about we try a couple buildings for now, then go further, if it's alright.
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay, I will end the part here, so I'll see you around, everyone.